Hello, welcome everybody. I'm Natalie. This is Scientology Life After a Cult, where we talk about the latest Scientology news that has the internet buzzing and also share about my 35 years in Scientology, growing up in Scientology, in this organization, and then my grand escape with 3 generations of my family. Thank you for being here. Hello to everybody who's in the live chat. If you have a question today, if you could put question in front of it in all caps, followed by the question, that will help a ton. The what do you call the super chats get started right away, but we need to pull out the question, so put question in all caps there so we can catch them and answer as many as we can. Thank you all for being here. Don't you just love Scientology news in the morning? If you're new to the channel, I would love it if you hit that subscribe button and check your buttons, people, because I do every day. I get emails from people saying that, oh, I checked and I was unsubscribed. I have no idea how or why that happens. I did hear that if you hit the notification bell, that's supposed to help. I don't know if it's true or not, but be worth trying, because if you hit the notification bell, then hopefully you'll get notifications for when I go live as well, because you can pretty much find me 7:30 a.m. Central Time, Monday through Friday, and 9 a.m. Central Time, Saturday and Sunday. But I do additional interviews with people often during the week in the evening at different times. So you want to be able to catch that as well. All right, we are going to get into it. We have so much. Okay, there's a couple things going on, and we're going to kind of start it off with this Danny Masterson news. Did I get all my housekeeping mods? And thank you to my mods, by the way. I think Dip Me and Glitter is here, Nancy, and I do believe My Tony is in there too somewhere. My Tony and I did a video yesterday. If you get a chance, check it out. We just wanted to talk some about life after a cult and how our relationship has morphed in ways, and how he has dealt with my Scientology baggage, and how I dealt with his non-Scientology baggage, because we all have baggage of different kinds. Thank you to everybody who emails me at natalie@tonkatalk.com. When you see something, say something Scientology related on the internet. Really helps me if you can either send a clip or a timestamp and tell me specifically what it is that I'm looking for in case I missed it. And the more people who send me things, even if it's the same thing, that it kind of really tells me too that this is what you want to hear about and talk about. So please do. Okay, so this whole Danny Masterson thing, there's a couple things going on, but I want to start with Jumpsuit Pablo. I've shared clips from his channel before, and he's sharing something very interesting that, if this is true, which I have no reason to believe that it is not, Danny Masterson could be in the hands of the psychiatrist. And if you have been in Scientology or are familiar with it, you know that getting into the hands of the big bad psychiatrist is the last thing any Scientologist wants to do. L. Ron Hubbard really painted them as the boogeyman and the reason for everything from the Holocaust to all of the things that are bad or ill mankind. L. Ron Hubbard even talks about psychiatrists as being on what he calls the whole track. In other words, they existed in previous lifetimes and other planets, that there was some iteration of psychiatrists. In reality, we know that L. Ron Hubbard does not like competition, right? So it would make sense that he doesn't want people going to psychiatrists, psychologists, therapists, other counselors, studying any other books or religions that might actually help somebody. And God forbid if it's for free. He ain't about that life. He is about the L. Ron Hubbard life, getting his dollar. So let's jump over here. Links down below to all the videos that I'm going to be talking about. I love this guy. Check it out.
4 days ago, Danny was taken to a crisis bed within the facility. That means he is in the medical unit of Corcoran Prison Yard. It's called the CMS. And he's in that unit in a crisis bed. Why is he there? How did he even get there? Because he has threatened to himself. That's as much as I can say. Thanks, YouTube. But that's what he's threatened to do. He's threatened to do that. All right. So they have to. If you verbally express that to an officer, even if they feel like you're lying or you have ulterior motives, which we would assume Danny has, they have to do that to protect their own self. They gotta bring you to somewhere specifically within that yard. You know, it varies from state to state and prison system to prison system, but there's but four.
This is huge. So, as I understand it here, what he's saying is Danny Masterson threatened to unalive himself in prison, very possibly to be in a safer space, because we've heard that there is a gang in the prison that he's in the yard that he's in, that has a hit out on him. So if those things are all true, then he thought that maybe if he did this, it could be someplace safer. And I suggest you go and watch the entire video that I'm going blank on his name again, Jumpsuit Pablo, that he did, because he talks more about it and what that means too. Like if you get found actually that you need to be under psychiatric care, where you get sent could be worse than prison, which I never even thought about. And then I thought about this too. It's also possible that it is legitimately true, and that's where he's at. Which, if that's the case, he needs to be in psychiatric care and needs to be, getting that type of care. I don't know. Pablo, his vibe seems to be he thinks that he's just doing it to try to get somewhere safer. And just really interesting, And you really got to understand, again, as a Scientologist, it is like completely forbidden that you talk to somebody in the mental health field. And it doesn't matter at this point in my mind. You would hope that even maybe Danny Masterson thinks that, but I have no idea. But this is not good for Scientology, but maybe it'll be good and helpful for Danny Masterson. I do not know. Now, down the rabbit hole news, our girl Rabbit was digging in again to this whole Danny Masterson and his connection to the restaurant La Poubelle. La Poubelle is right across the street from the Celebrity Center, which is Scientology's Celebrity Center, where Danny Masterson and many other celebrities would have gone and do go. And there's also the Manor Hotel. The Manor Hotel is a hotel run by Scientology. I've shared with you guys, my water broke there when I was pregnant with my first child. I actually got married there the first time on the grounds outside of Celebrity Center at the Manor Hotel. It's trippy to see a lot of the footage. But down the rabbit hole was kind of putting, she's so great at putting together these different pieces of this puzzle. And LARA FM jumped on to fill in the blank for her more on what is the tie between Danny Masterson and the owner of La Poubelle. I put on the community tab of my page here on YouTube the character statement that the owner of La Poubelle wrote in to help out Danny Masterson, just like when Ashton Kutcher wrote one, she wrote one too. And that's on the community tab if you care to give it a read and see this is why there are people outside calling her out on that and protesting the restaurant. So let's take a look at what Lara shared with Rabbit from Down the Rabbit Hole News.
So I need to tell you, her name is Francois, whatever. She's the owner. Her and Danny are completely really good friends. That's the whole reason he was able to even bring her to I would go to that restaurant all the time with Danny Masterson, Eric Balfour, Chris Masterson. That was his little hub of, and yeah, he drugged and brought one of the victims, drugged them in their wine at that restaurant. And the owner of this restaurant and everybody in that restaurant supports and backs up Danny Masterson. She wrote a letter to the judge along with, the other Scientology supporter actresses that you guys met. When I went there to protest when I was protesting at Celebrity Center, after that, I went across the street and was there, and she tried to get me thrown out. She had the security guard that works in there. She was telling him, don't touch her. Cause I was like, go, you touch me. And you're like, so she knew exactly the laws, the rules. She knows exactly what she's doing. She is a complete supporter of Danny Masterson. They are really good friends. I'm sure they even have businesses or had businesses together, et cetera, et cetera. She's 100% disgusting.
Oh my, see, I had no idea.
Yeah.
By the way, happy birthday. Happy belated
Thank you.
birthday, everybody.
It's on Monday. Monday is my
Okay, so
official
it's
birthday.
not belated. Okay.
But today is Lisa McPherson's birthday, so I
Oh,
want
that's right. I
everybody
did
to
hear
know
that.
that.
Crazy. That really kind of fills it in more, right? With the backstory there. And I love that Lara was able to jump in and do that. Mom of 3 doodles. Thank you so much for the super chat. I love that. 3 doodles. So must be golden doodles. They're so cute. I was so glad that she was able to go on and do that and fill in the blank. Just fill in the blank about it. Like, what's happening? What's happening? All right, we're going to take a look at some footage in front of the restaurant last night from D.O.A, Defender Events. It's actually where I got part of the thumbnail for this video here. He was out there and it's just like some weird stuff was going on. I don't understand what the LAPD was doing. And if somebody does, tell me in the chat. Tell us in the comments, what were they doing? They line up in front of the building. Then they go in the back and they line up in the back of the building. Then they line up in the front of the building as if they were doing some kind of episode of some police bachelor waiting on a rose. I don't know what it was about. I just don't know. It was weird. And then they left. Just bizarre. So I don't know what I missed. If somebody can fill in that blank for me, I'm very curious because I thought the behavior was odd. Even for the LAPD, it was a little odd. So we're looking at D.O.A Defender Events video.
That's a good picture right there.
Blue Poubelle right there.
I don't know. I'm not liking that. Like,
Damn, that was a shot right there.
It's just weird, right? What are they doing? What are they doing? Did anybody say? Does anybody know? That would be a police drill. So I did it there to show force in front of protests. Is that what it is? Because they weren't giving force and protection. They were giving, we don't know why we're here either. I mean, if you watch it, that's really the vibe that I was getting. I thought it just was so odd and so strange. Very strange. Very strange. But let's move on. I am thrilled that Tory MAGOO 44, she is an OG Scientology protester, was in the C organization years ago. She has been standing up. She has taken a lot of harassment. And I love that she's starting to share again on YouTube. And I want to make sure that you guys go follow her. She's so cute. I mean, she's more than just cute, but I love that she's doing this and she's embracing the technology and working out the kinks and how to do it. And I love it because she's got great insight and is somebody that you can learn a lot about the history of Scientology and protests with Scientology as well. Jessica Palmadessa did a great interview with Tory a few days ago, and we covered that as well here on this channel. But I'm so excited to see this. Let's listen to Tory.
The things that most of you know, most people don't know that are in Scientology. They don't read about it. They don't hear about it. They don't talk to people. They can't. And you can see that on videos. Aren't they afraid you will tell everything that happened on the inside? Yeah, they are. That's why that's why Hubbard came up with declaring suppressive. It was way back in the 1950. He wrote a book, Dianetics. There were a bunch of Dianeticists, and then a bunch of them left when he started Scientology. And they were like, we're not in for a religion, no. And so they left. So he came up with this SP Declare, where you're a suppressive person, the most evil people on the planet. Don't ever talk to them. And people, when you're in, you're just like, okay, that's the way it is. I won't talk to them because you don't want to lose your friends.
She did such a great job to sharing that the mentality of a Scientologist and Scientology, because I think the best that we can understand that, and I try to share it too from my perspective as somebody who spent 35 years in Scientology, it It doesn't always explain things, but sometimes it sheds light, because often I'll hear from people, how are Scientologists still there when they're in a human trafficking cult? They don't know they're in a cult. How are Scientologists still there when all these things are going on and these abuses are being perpetuated and shared all over the place? They don't know. They're not allowed to read anything or listen to anything. They do know what is being done to them, and many of them, and I was in the same boat. My daughter was in the same boat. We didn't like certain things, but we did not recognize it as abuse. We did not have it labeled as abuse. It is total abuse, and continuing to call it out as that, label it correctly, helps to get the message out. And my hope is that whether it's people in Scientology or honestly people in any controlling group or abusive situation might learn more and go, whoa, wait a minute, what kind of situation and am I in? So love the backstory. Definitely check her out. We are going to hop over to Liz Ferris. Now, Liz Ferris, I do believe Liz Gail, who's also here on YouTube. Oh no, Nora. Some other people are headed out to Los Angeles at the end of the month to join the protests. So, they're making their plans, right? They're getting their rental set up, all the good things, all the things that you need to do. But then what happens? Suddenly this rental's not available anymore because of some raining, some floods, yet not where this house was. This is Scientology Dirty Tricks in Action. Take a look at Liz Ferris. Make sure you follow here on YouTube. Link down below to the full video.
I've even talked to my therapist about how the house backed out. And my therapist was even under the interpretation where either they were a Scientologist or related to a Scientologist, because either which way, the way that they said LA's flooding. Like, I don't know people in LA. Like, it wouldn't be on the news if Los Angeles was flooding. Like, if houses were being washed away, it would be all over the news. Give me a better excuse. If you're going to lie, come up with a better lie. Like, you attached a whole bunch of balloons to the top of your house and it floated away, just like in that Disney movie. Pick up something better. Like, oh, we had an outbreak of Ebola. Make something better. Like, don't say it's flooding. It's flooding, and I'm not going to say anything because it's flooding.
Oh, I just love Liz. She just calls it out. So it'll be interesting to see what happened, what happens. I'm sure they're going to get another place and it'll be fine. But really makes you think, right? Like, was it owned by a Scientologist, somebody who knew Scientology? Did Scientology somehow find out where they were staying and then pressure the homeowner? I don't know. Who knows? But it's not flooding. We'll just call it Scientology Dirty Tricks. Now, LA Cam, link down below to his full video. He was given some info. Hold on a second. Let's take a look at this. He was out front of La Poubelle and had some interesting things to say. So we're going to just pop in here to LA Cam's video in front of La Poubelle.
I've read some of the Yelp reviews of this place last night and they were just hilarious. Somebody wrote a Yelp review and said they went inside and there was a cockroach on the side of the wall, and he told the owner, and she's like, oh, that happens all the time, don't worry about it. It was hilarious. Yeah, they're messing with everybody's cars and everything. Easy got a flat tire, Ozza had a flat tire. I think Mindy also got her tire flattened by Scientology. And last night, Chris thought a Hellcat got his car keyed. Car keyed.
Is it just coincidence that these protesters are getting their car keyed, tires flattened, nails in the tire? Not just in Hollywood, it's happening in San Diego. It has happened in Clearwater.
Yeah, if you guys go look at the Yelp reviews that of this place, La Poubelle. They're hilarious.
Interesting, right? More Scientology dirty tricks is what I think. That's speculation. Do I have black and white evidence proving and showing it? No. Do they have a history of doing this type of thing? Yes, they do. Did they, if you saw the leaked email that we covered the other night when I had my favorite Scientology spy, Diane from Ventura, on the channel, we shared an email that was leaked from Betsy, who's with Scientology in Los Angeles, where she talked about how they had new tools in place to handle them right away if the squirrels show up. Is this it? We've seen tasers. We've seen, these kind of crazy things happening. Is that it? Is that it? And then I got curious because I'm like, oh, really? This La Poubelle. Let's look for ourselves, because he said that the Yelp reviews were hilarious. So I thought, let's look, right? Let's look. Here's one from Ella in Beverly Hills. We went for dinner a couple of nights ago. There was a lot going on outside for some reason or another. I didn't notice anyone famous. There was a man outside wearing a red cape and a onesie. That would be D.O.A, by the way. That was Scotty. It's LA. Anyway, the food was all right. We've had better. We ordered the steak frites and a what is it? Cocovan? Well, anyways, that. The reason for the 1 star is the fact that as we were leaving, we overheard the owner tell someone outside something like, so what? Women get ARD, SA, all the time. That shook me to my core. What vile person would say something like that? I would have given 2 stars had it not been for that. People should not be supporting a business that thinks it's okay for women to get SA'd. I'm outraged. Let's look at another one. Victoria, shameful. This place is even open. A woman was drugged here and the owner is in a photo walking into court with him. What kind of woman owner goes to court with Danny Masterson? Head over to YouTube and find out. It just goes on and on and on, people. There are more. And, is she free to support who she wants? Yes, of course. Does that mean she's free from the court of public opinion and people calling her out on it and having a very strong opinion on it? There's that too. So when you stand behind and support somebody like Danny Masterson, especially when it involved criminal acts that occurred in your restaurant, not a good look. And if that one Yelp reviewer, what she's saying, if that is in fact true, what she heard, that I agree with her. That is even more vile and nasty. So if you get a chance, I'll put a link down below and you can go see the rest of those Yelp reviews if you like. I like a good review. Now, Mindy, sweet Mindy, protesting there in LA. She got trolled the other day. There's someone we saw who was sending her messages saying, after she came on my channel, saying that, well, you need to get Natalie to take down that interview and you need to not go on growing up in Scientology and blah, 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 yada, yada, yada. Just trolling. And, Mindy ignores it. And then this person jumped up in her live chat and Mindy has a clip of that. Here's the thing. It could be a person who's new in Scientology. It could also be someone from Scientology just trolling to create problems. But it's interesting because I'm going to play the clip. This person is saying, like, even in the earlier message to Mindy, they were saying, hey, these people are just lying and naming all the people. How do you know? You watching the videos? Are you watching the videos on YouTube? Because you're not supposed to be doing that. I don't know if Scientology told you, but you're going to get in trouble for that, which is part of what makes me think it could be just somebody who's working for the Office of Special Affairs who's doing some kind of trolling. I don't know. It could also be a new Scientologist who hasn't figured out that you're not supposed to be doing this stuff. Either way, we're going to take a look because I thought that Mindy handled it well. For the most part, my advice is always ignore the trolls. They're always going to be there. I don't care, even if you're not covering Scientology, if you're not protesting against Scientology, how much energy you want to give them. She is a genuinely nice person and was like wanting to know and get answers to these questions. Mindy, not the troll. And just her care, it blows me away. So take a look.
So you say, Mindy, you haven't been a Scientologist, so you can't speak on it. Aaron has, but he's lying about it. Liz has, but she's lying about it, you said in your text or in your message, your DM.
And by the way, this is something that this person has been pushing on her, this idea that, well, you've never tried Scientology, so how can you speak on it? Well, you know what? I've never tried heroin, but I know it's not good for me. I don't need to try it to know that I should not be doing that. I've not tried meth because I'm pretty sure not good for me, because I can see other people sharing their stories of what that was like and how hard it was to overcome. So that there's no logic in that. And it cracks me up that that is like, well, you haven't tried it, so you don't know.
LARA has, but you said she's lying about it. Everyone's lying. Everyone. I can feel Serge's heart that he's truthful and his lived experience. Got kicked or escaped. You know, I feel like if you're not lying, if you really are in Scientology for 1 year, you probably are just a really trusting person who is like has fallen victim too. And you're only at the very beginning of this victimhood. Like, I wish I could just reach out to you with my heart and say, like, don't go any further. Don't give them 1 more ounce, because it's embarrassing to admit that you've been, lured in, but you haven't lost that much comparatively what you could be losing. Your freedom, your family. So you say, Mindy, you haven't.
Isn't that interesting? And there's a clip to the whole video down below that these are some common things. You never tried it. And oh, those people who are speaking out were kicked out. No, we ran away. We escaped. We went through great lengths to get away from you. We broke up with you, Scientology. I broke up with you. Just because you afterwards go do this whole thing where you declare us a suppressive person so that Scientologists don't talk to us and think that we're these evil people. Fail, flunk Scientology. It doesn't work. You know what? Some of your people still talk to us. So whatever. But I thought that was really interesting. Now we're going to hop over to Chicago, because there is this kid because I'm old enough to be his mom. He's a young man, but I call them all kids, with some people out there who are helping him as well. I got a link to his video. He did some dumpster diving, and he found some pretty crazy things. And there is a link down below. Trashy V12 BMW. Follow his channel. There's a few other creators who are also working with him as well. Follow them, because they are out there doing the Lord's work in Chicago. They are out there in the Midwest exposing Scientology. And wait till you see a few of the things that they found.
There's a little girl. There's a tall boy. This looks like, oh, this is kid's handwriting. This is kid's drawings right there. Interesting.
That's so gross.
Hand sanitizer. Oh, there's some nice Scientologist shoes in there.
I know. I wish he was
These
wearing
are
gloves
headphones
too.
provided. This is some. Oh, these are definitely like Scientology symbols or something.
The mom in me is like, gloves. Put some gloves on.
And I feel like this might be collectible.
I hope that's not restaurant garbage, because that's the worst kind of garbage there is. I think that's the
Here you go. This is how you know it's Scientology, all right? In front of Chicago Scientology flyer. Be a part of the crusade. Chicago is going ideal.
Contact Tiffany Woods.
We're keeping that.
Yeah.
He found too, I put a picture on the community tab on my channel of a piece of promotional paper where Mace Kingsley, which is a Scientologist run school, where they're promoting with Scientology to have children do the purification rundown, which is Scientology's 5-hour-a-day program in the sauna. There's pictures of kids on it, talks about it will make them more stable, less emotional. I was just outraged by this, because adults should not be doing the purification rundown. 5 hours a day in a sauna, dangerously high doses of niacin and other supplements as well. Now children, they're putting children on this. Children. I was like, oh my gosh. So it's on the community tab of my page. And Dylan Blowdrill was saying, he comments on there and said that he had done the purification rundown twice by the time he was 18. which then reminded me, so did I, not twice, but I did do it when I was a teenager. And they tell you that it's to get these toxins and drugs out of your system. The vast majority of us who grew up in Scientology never did drugs. So it seemed kind of ridiculous and really hardly took that much medication to begin with. But, you know, they want to get that money because Elmwood Hubbard wants to get that dollar. They're not going to, you know, they're going to go after the kids now because why? Because there are no adults coming into Scientology, hardly. So is this another tactic we're seeing of ways they can get money out of parents by now putting children? You know what? I want literally Serge to talk about this. I think I tagged him in the post because this is right up his alley. And as someone who is a trained auditor in Scientology, I think he could break it down even better. Yes, power to paralyze. Thank you so much for that. And you're right. They're poor little kidneys. That's criminal. My mom had kidney issues. She did the purification rundown once for sure when she was in her late 20s. In her 30s, she was diagnosed with a kidney issue. Her kidney, she ended up failing. I actually gave her one of my kidneys and she lived 7 more years. And we always wondered, like, what was it part of it? She had an issue that from when she was a young child, she had something happen and one of her kidneys didn't grow, but something happened that made the condition worse. And at the time we were still in Scientology, but we left not long after and always wondered if the purification rundown had something to do with that. Now we're going to look again at some more at another video from Trashy V12 BMW in Chicago because they found even more things. Check it out.
Look at this.
Lots.
Uncle Sam will help you get up the bridge.
Tax exempt status, anyone? You see how Scientology uses that they're tax exempt, that you can write off these donations as a big push to get money. That's why it's so important to do what we can to have them lose their tax exempt status. This is a Scientology brochure.
This is
No.
2023.
Yeah, separation of church and state, for real.
No, that's it. Those are the basics.
That one, I don't know what
This
that
is the same name that was on the letter.
Looking at people's names.
Oh, yeah.
We're not showing them.
And this is funny too. This was in the garbage, right? This is somebody's flyer and promo that they didn't even open. So the Scientologist who got it from Scientology just throws it away.
Is it more of that stuff?
Mm-hmm.
Probably this.
It didn't knock over. I just hit with my head.
I heard you signed a staff contract. That's fantastic news. Was that with Chicago? And is that what took you up to Illinois? This is flag letter. Look at this.
Crazy. The other thing that I thought was so hilarious about this is that Scientology for decades has been going through people's garbage. Critics of Scientology, they have paid garbage disposal people to hold on to the garbage and hand it to them down the road. We've actually seen this on video. So I think it's great that in Chicago, now I don't know if this is okay or not okay. And I'm not saying go do it. I'm just saying that I can appreciate it. And it seems like a bit of karma here. This is karma, Scientology. You like to go through people's mail, do ya? Do ya? Or garbage, I should say. You like to go through people's garbage. Your own people are throwing away your flyers. Your own people are not even opening what they know is junk mail from their church. They're throwing it in the garbage. And good for them. Good for them. Also in Chicago, there was an interesting thing that got brought up about a Scientology van. Because you know how they move people around in vans when they don't want them seen by people in general or people protesting? Listen to this.
It has its own Scientology van. And
So
it's a mini Ram van.
So it has
no
sign,
seats in the back.
and then there's a partitioner, and then
Between
it
the front and
says,
back.
it has a sign on the partitioner that says, "Do not remove partitioner."
Partition, yeah.
Yeah, per whatever.
But then it's like a cage in the back. There's a cage. There are bars on the windows. There are bars in the back, and it literally looks like
A mini police
that
van.
people are being transported from here to a hole somewhere.
And of course, the back windows are tinted, so you can't see who's in there really.
And,
they left the key. Look, they left
They-
the keys.
they
on
left
the
the keys
seat,
right
so
in
it's
there.
Like they're asking for it.
You guys, it's Scientology transportation Chicago style.
For real.
Just wait until, like, are they not remembering that we have how many carjackings? Like,
Yeah.
Like, you're just leaving the key.
That's crazy. They're out there in, I'm assuming this was around the corner. They're leaving the keys. Scientology, you got such an abundance of vehicles and vans that you just leaving the keys in Chicago, just leaving them in there. And why is there a cage in the back of your transportation van? Can we talk about that? What's it being used for? Is it being used to take any of these children to and from the purification rundown that you're doing? I don't know. I don't know, but you better stop leaving your keys like that. That's just irresponsible. That is. Anybody from Scientology who might be catching this, you got to let them know. That's just like, that's not safe. That's not safe. I hope you got good insurance because that's just a crime waiting to happen. All right. My girl, Pearl Snappy. Oh my gosh. She had me rolling. She did this whole thing yesterday where she reacted to a bunch of leaked videos. We have more leaked videos. In fact, you know what? Before we go straight to her, I'm going to show you, if I can get it pulled up, this video that was leaked from Austin, which says it all. This says it all.
Hi, guys.
Now, let me set it up a little bit here. So these people are here. This is from, I think it's from last year. We're there for the Flag World Tour, right? Which is the event where they travel all over the country, the world even. Flag is in Clearwater, Florida, to get people to pay money for services to go to Clearwater, Florida, right? They travel all over the place and do this. And these young ladies are trying to, hip, hip, hooray, go to Flag today. Just go ahead and come to our event, blah, 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 blah. But they want to make sure people come. And so they want to be very clear about something that they were really clear about at the end. And the fact that they're saying this as Scientologists and that this was shared with Scientologists just blows my mind. As an ex-Scientologist, I am embarrassed for you. My best day in Scientology, I never would have said something like that. Would have thought it plenty, but not actually said it. And I couldn't believe they say it. So hold on a second. Where'd it go? Okay, check it out. Check it out. Hold on, I gotta get it pulled back up.
I'm here at the org and I want to give you some good news. Look who's here.
Hi, everybody. Oh my God, it's Austin time.
Woo!
So listen, guys, this is it. Marlise and I have just arrived. We want to see everybody tomorrow at the org. We have such fantastic news. There is a checklist you need to be briefed on. Shit is getting real. So, who are you going to call with your confirm?
Me, your favorite staff member. Just
Wait
call
for it,
me.
wait for it.
I'll
Let's
be
do
calling
it.
you.
And we'll see you tomorrow at the org.
FYI, it's not a fundraiser, so you have to come.
Yeah, exactly. It's not a fundraiser, I swear.
Bye.
Bye.
What the heck? What the heck, Scientology? Office of Special Affairs, you need to they need some correction. Because what they're basically saying is we know how much you hate all the fundraisers that we have all the time in Scientology, but this is not that. We're not going to just hit you up for money for straight donations. We're going to hit you up for money to do services at Flag in Clearwater. What in the world? Again, there's always part of me that as an ex-Scientologist, my Scientology mind is like, what are you doing? I cannot believe that they shared this video. Like, this is something that was shared, I think, on social media. It's not a fundraiser. It's too much. It's too much. I'm telling you, that's what the live streamers, the protesters, just pointing your cameras at Scientology is enough. We don't need to do anything. We don't need to say anything. These people are bringing themselves down. They truly are. Shooting themselves in the foot over and over and over again with stuff like this. It's not a fundraiser. It's not a fundraiser. It's safe to come. It's not a fundraiser. That's so bad. And you know what? It actually is a fundraiser. It's just your money will go to Florida to the Flag land base. So Pearl Snappy did this whole thing where she reacted to more leaked videos from Scientology, from Austin. And her reaction to these, just, I was rolling. I clipped a bunch of them because I'm like, I can't even choose which ones are my favorite. And this is Pearl Snappy. Full link to her video down below. I was just dying. We know that Austin has an opening coming up on February 24th, where they are supposedly opening their new big, pretty building that will be nice and empty. And that's happening on the 24th in Austin. And we're going to keep an eye on that. But check out Pearl Snappy.
We're building an ideal org. Don't get left in the dust.
Okay, a couple of things. Sir, you could have had many takes. Also, do we recognize the cemetery? Because that's where I was. And also, the direction that he left on his motorcycle is away from the ideal org. He's driving away. He's not driving toward the org on Guadalupe. He's driving the wrong way. Okay? Scientology drivers. Sir, you're driving the wrong way. You're going the wrong way. You're going west. Why are you going west? The org is southeast of there. What are you doing? Also, sweet ride, bro. Super sweet ride.
Oh my gosh. Yes, he's blowing. He's taking off. That's right, Liberty. He is blowing. He is running away. Somebody better go chase that man. I just love that. He's going in the running away. That's just so great. That's so great that she called that out. And the fun doesn't end there, my friends. No, it does not. She calls them out on even more. Check it out.
So amazing. We could actually bring this whole thing. So we've moved up from 29th to 12th in the last 4 weeks. That's right. We could bring ourselves.
Cite your sources. Show me the KPIs. I want the mean and the standard deviation. And I want your N. Okay? Not your N gram, not your N theta.
Up to the top 5. And when these execs come back and we actually open the org.
It took 7 to take a very simple tent down. So light bulbs, maybe 4 or 5.
We can blow the roof off. Austin can very well win the birthday.
All 7 of us.
The entire planet this year.
I totally see that's real. I think the one thing we need to do, though, David, we need to figure out how do we let the field know that this
his name's David.
We have to come up with some way of getting it to everybody there so they can.
So David, the guy in the white shirt, is the guy who Pearl Snappy said called the police on them the other day when she and some ladies were out there protesting, being quiet about it. And the landlord came out, and at first he's like, cool, do your thing. Just don't bother the other tenants. And they were just going to be there quietly. Well, Scientology could not leave well enough alone. They had to go pressure the landlord into getting rid of Pearl Snappy and her people, and they were sent out to the curb, which then meant she had to yell and be louder, and that is what happened. So this I think she's going to be trolling this guy a lot. Because there's just these leaked videos are crazy, and they sent these out to people. How come nobody said anything? Why are they not being told, stop doing this? What's happening? Let's take a look at another. Food, brains, wallets. That would be accurate. Oh, it was not playing? Oh, it was muted? Oh my gosh, you guys. Okay, I already clicked it out of my thing. There is a link down below. So sorry. So sorry. I was laughing all by myself. You're going to have to go check it out down below. But do I have another one? No, I do not. You'll have to go check it out. It's such a classic example of how sometimes Scientology, these smaller churches, right? Little smaller cult centers are allowed to kind of be rogue with their promotion and what they do, and we're all here for it because it's like nothing I've ever seen. Yeah, you're gonna have to go watch that video. But I was just dying. She just had me dying. I was laughing so hard I could hardly stand it. Gailrin, you and Aaron make my day every day. Thank you. That's very sweet of you to say. CB, from yesterday's stream, what is a sec check and what does it mean to sec check as a child? A sec check is a security check. And in Scientology, it's a form of interrogation. It's not actual auditing. When you were getting auditing in Scientology, the auditor says that, basically there's this idea that what you say in auditing is not going to be told to anybody outside of all the people who read your folder, or in case they want to use it against you later, should you choose to leave Scientology. They don't say that, but that's the reality. When you're getting a security check, the auditor says, I'm not auditing you, because that means green light. Anything you say, it's like being read the Miranda rights, can and will be held against you in a court of Scientology justice system. So a security check is basically an interrogation in Scientology. And to security check a child is the same thing. You interrogate a child to find out what their crimes are, either against Scientology, against their family. So if a child is being, misbehaving or being difficult, as children do, you might, if you're not sending them over to the purification rundown in a sauna, have them get a security check. There are specific ones for children that just have no place in anything. Ren Listen says, Danny Masterson is running scared from Bubba, the love panda, and all his minions. Probably. Mama Doodles, thank you again for that. Hey, Jen Ben, hello from Sydney, Australia. Super cool. Victoria, do not think this is an attempt of him trying to avoid getting shivved. Oh, Danny Masterson? Yeah, I think you're right. Totally. Spicy Cat Foster, thank you so much for this. There is so much going on. Thank you for condensing. I've come to rely on you. Your hard work is appreciated. Love, J.S. Pablo. Thank you so much. I'm going to keep doing it as long as you guys keep showing up, because I just love this stuff. And I got to tell you, for me, it's so incredibly healing to be able to speak so freely about a topic that I wasn't allowed to speak about for so long. And hopefully I can bring that insight as somebody who grew up in Scientology, was in this organization, left, and, life after, to help give my own take on it. Tuning in from Toronto. Good Sunday morning, folks. Hello there. So Sally has a question. How does it feel that these people in Scientology can't even speak to a person as a human? The disdain they show is just visceral for real people. Does anyone see that but me? I get you. Totally. And when I was in Scientology, still in this organization, I had that disdain for people. I had that impatience for people not in Scientology, people that I supposedly was supposed to be helping with Scientology. So yeah, they do. And I get that. And that is something that I'm happy to say I do not have today. Getting rid of that cult mindset and that mentality went a long way in realizing that that's not who I was. It's who they were training me to be and who they wanted and needed me to be to do their work for them. Grounded in grace. No excuses, but is it possible that Danny Masterson actually doesn't think that what he did was wrong? Could the VIP cult of Scientology upbringing have damaged his mind view that badly? Yes, Yes, absolutely. And you know what? My personal opinion is this. I think he is so messed up. The sense of entitlement, the VIP treatment from the cult, the way that he was raised in the cult, the inappropriateness, the lack of buttons, the lack of boundaries. Absolutely. I honestly do. I think he believes it, which is freaking dangerous. YRB, am I correct in my memory that Celebrity Center does not serve alcohol? Therefore, the need for a Scientology friendly bar across the street. Gosh, I wasn't drinking then. In Scientology, it can be difficult to get your drink on because you can't have alcohol within 24 hours of doing a Scientology course or service, which you're pretty much almost always doing. And yeah, I don't remember. You know what? For a hot minute, I worked in that restaurant before I was in the Sea Organization when I was trying to work on getting in the Sea Organization. So I was probably 17 or so then. And I waitressed in that restaurant for a little bit. And I don't remember alcohol being on the menu. Now that I think about that, I never really thought about that. Yeah, but there was no alcohol. That's also when I got to meet Lisa Marie Presley, because she would come into the restaurant when she was there at the Celebrity Center doing her Scientology auditing. Amy, are you aware there was a channel criticizing the protesters yesterday? No, I am not. If you want to send me a link, Natalie@tonkatalk.com, or let us know where we can find it. Powerless to Paralyzed, we looked at this, but yes, though they're poor little kidneys, that's criminal. We're talking about kids doing the purification rundown, the sauna program in Scientology. Anti-Harju, I quite like it that Scientology as an organization isn't as scary as it used to be. People feel much more free to criticize it nowadays. They still have their dirty tricks, but there are so many people speaking out against Scientology that they don't have the manpower or the resources to deal with all of us. And the other thing is, the biggest thing about this is they recognize, maybe they don't recognize it. They know, though, the large number of people who have never been in Scientology that are supporting channels like mine and other channels, and even ones that where they're just starting to cover Scientology. It's overwhelming. So like this video, subscribe to the channel. My gift to L. Ron Hubbard, in one of those Austin videos, they talked about the birthday game. Every year, Scientology plays this game, all the organizations, to get their statistics up, straight up and vertical is what they say, as a gift to L. Ron Hubbard. My gift to L. Ron Hubbard is I am doing my best to get my channel to 20,000 subscribers by L. Ron Hubbard's birthday, March 13th, because I'm just a team player like that. I want to play the birthday game too. That's how I'm playing it. I hope you guys play it with me. I hope you do. Just a Northern girl, Natalie is having her own partyology. Oh, how do you not? This is just all too funny. Clapping Kyle. Hello, my favorite SPs. Claps for you. I know Cult of Scientology puts very little value on death and grief. Does that mean there are no funeral ceremonies within the Sea Org at all? No, actually, there are. Not always, but there is. In Scientology's minister book, there is a service for somebody who has dropped the body. And the emphasis is on bidding them farewell as they go pick up another body, and we will see them again. It really downplays the loss. It really does. Scientology doesn't want you to slow down and grieve for your family that you lost a family member. They need you in the course room. They need you getting those auditing hours. They need you paying the money, not grieving. So it's very downplayed when they do have services for somebody who's passed. It's actually quite disgusting. Quite disgusting. My Tony, we know how important everyone's time is, and we appreciate you spending yours with us. Thank you for your time, everybody. It's valuable. I agree, babe. Totally agree. Judy Dolan has a question. What are your thoughts on Liz Gale's suggestion for the Aftermath Foundation board? You know what? I didn't see the whole video. I saw part of it where Liz Gale here on YouTube came up with some suggestions on what the board should do. The ones that I saw, I thought it was a great idea, but I didn't see the whole thing yet. It's still in my queue and I'm still watching it. I love that she's doing that. Ison K, about Scientologists not talking to normal humans. Isn't it that they don't see them as equals, so they are something novice, so they are further in evolution? Yes, Scientologists, there tends to be this idea, not all of them, but because it's a view from L. Ron Hubbard, a lot of them adopt this view that they are better than people not in Scientology because they know better, they know more. That's why often they can be condescending about things. I got to tell you, coming across as being condescending was something I didn't even realize I was doing still at times. And I wasn't even being condescending. It was just because of the way I communicated, mostly in writing, that it came across that way. So now I try to use a lot of emojis to show I'm not being condescending. But that is funny. And that is true. There's some truth to that. Ann M, is that why Bijou needed a kidney? Purification. Ooh. For those that don't know, Bijou is Danny Masterson's ex-wife, soon to be ex-wife. Lifelong, grew up in Scientology. I don't know. That's right. She needed a kidney transplant. I don't know, but that's good speculation there. I think that should be looked into. Definitely. Dip Me in Glitter, thank you so much. Make sure you're all still subscribed to not just Natalie, but any of the others you are subscribed to. Sometimes it clicks you out. It does. Rep 724, new to the channel and hello from the Twin Cities. Hey, what is the org like here? Well, it is in the building that used to be the Children's Science Museum. And I have not been in it since the renovation because I am not allowed. I am not allowed. Favorite Aunt Deedly, what did you think of the lady who said she's being fair gamed and that the LA squad interviewed last night? So Jessica Pomadessa interviewed her. I don't know. I don't really know a ton about her story, but from what I did see, it just, how do I put this? Something doesn't add up to me because I haven't yet heard, and maybe I missed it, right? Maybe I missed that part of what happened that Scientology would be after her to this degree. That's pretty intense levels of harassment. It's just very unusual for them to do that to somebody who wasn't. You really got to be a massive critic of the church. I mean, they had Pat Broker, who was a Sea Org member, who was supposed to take over for L. Ron Hubbard. David Miscavige had him followed for 25 years and paid private investigators $30,000 a month to do it. Pat Broker was with L. Ron Hubbard at the end of his life. He saw everything. He knew everything. He was supposed to take over. And David Miscavige was like, nope, no. This is about to be the David Miscavige show. So it's, I don't know. I don't know yet. But my leaning right now is just some things that aren't adding up quite there. And maybe I just don't know a bunch about it. But I have questions. Where do you get the Clapping Kyle shirt at? I don't know. Pearl Snappy, if you're still here, maybe do you have those? Do you have those? Because if they're going to be anywhere, they got to be on Pearl Snappy's channel. I want one too. Selfless Self. Is it possible for SBTV to abstain from reading out prison rape jokes? We really need to do better than those who we decry. I agree with that. Someone mentioned earlier, I try not to read those. I have no control over what anybody else does on SBTV. We're all our own creators. If it's, it can always be a suggestion on the channel for somebody else if you see them do that. But I'm with you on that one. As much as I despise Danny Masterson, that is not something that I wish on anyone. Any type of violence, truly, especially of that level. Unapologetic me. Did you see the posters D.O.A. had with the QR codes for free Dianetics and OT levels? Absolutely brilliant. Need more for outside Hollywood Center. I didn't. How did I miss that? I would love to see that. I really would. I really would. Old Frizz. Are they being reported to child abuse department regarding the rundown? So you're talking about the purification rundown. Surely it's a safeguarding issue, very dangerous. I don't know, but that is not a bad idea. Oh, Pearl Snappy, your friend made them, more coming soon. That's awesome. Yay. Those are the Clapping Kyle shirts. Buckled up, Buttercup. What is life like for the people inside the buildings with shades all drawn? Well, if you're talking about the blue buildings, actually any of them, I can't imagine it's great because now you're not even getting to see outside. When I was in the SEA organization, I lived and worked in the blue building. So there were times where I didn't go outside necessarily for days. So then on top of that, being in a building where and being at these different Scientology locations where their blinds are closed, I would imagine that really has to suck, especially if you like to see the outside. I just hope that they're taking extra vitamin D, because if you're not getting sun, you need that. You need that. Got to take care of yourself. Zippy, did you hit the like button? That's right, people. Hit the like button. Hit the subscribe button. Let's see. I did not see this, just a Northern girl. Did you see the big Dianetics billboard atop La Poubelle? Also, Serge's audit with Jess on the nacho cheese was both hilarious and horrifying. I need to find that and see that. I think I saw in LA Cam or D.O.A's video where Serge was live streaming and saying something that sounded like he was doing Scientology auditing. Maybe that was it, but I do need to see that. I absolutely need to see that. That crazy Canuck. I went to the movies last night at 9:30 p.m. Scientology guy was handing out flyers. I handed it back and told others pretty loudly it was a cult, so don't bother taking the flyers. That's awesome. So I'm assuming that's somewhere in Canada. Chicken Cherry Cola. I don't know if Child Services is aware of this. I can't imagine they wouldn't be, but the more they hear from people, the better. The better for sure. Mothers, you're totally right here. Cult of Scientology used to be able to do their dirty tricks in the shadows. Now there is so much light shining on them, it's getting harder for them to remain hidden. Exactly. This is why this is such a game changer, with catching all of it, not just on video, but live in real time where we are all seeing it. Partytology on the lanai. Oh my gosh, that's right. There's another video from Austin that was leaked that Pearl Snappy commented on, where they're inviting people to come out to the lanai. She went off on a whole Golden Girls thing, which I thought was hilarious. I'm a huge fan of the Golden Girls. I actually watch Golden Girls almost every night. I set a timer on the television and I fall asleep listening to Golden Girls. I have forever. I don't know why. I just find it super, like a really good brain scrub, and it just makes me feel cozy. I don't know. I don't know why, but I love the Golden Girls. So I cannot wait for Pearl Snappy to troll them about the lanai and Golden Girls. Where's Blanche? Where's Dorothy? Where's Sophia? Carly, do you think they've run out of OSA agents to watch everything, and that's why Diane's still getting emails? So Diane, our favorite Scientology spy from Ventura, I don't know. This level of incompetence is next level. Diane continues to get emails, even phone calls, even though she's been on my channel 2 times. Even the day after. That's why I shared, if you go to my community page, you can see the email about them trying to make fake IDs for the volunteer ministers to get into hospitals so they can give Scientology assist to people who could not okay it. I mean, she's blatant about it. She's absolutely blatant about that. Lisa, thank you so much for the super chat. I just posted a 1-star review on all Scientology locations near me. I'm in LA on both Yelp and Google. I encourage everyone to do the same. Selfless self. Do you give yourself enough credit for the unadulterated empathy and uncut compassion that you deliver to this community? Oh, that's super sweet. Thank you. I don't know. I'm not sure how to answer that. I I try to. I try to have. It's so easy to just drop into hate, right? And I think even though I want to see the end of Scientology, I want to see the end of these abuses. I don't hate the people that are in there. I was in there. All right. 3 generations of my family was in there, and we're all out now. And there are people like me and like us that are in there that feel like they can't leave because they're being threatened with disconnection with family, could be through their jobs, right? Just the mental gymnastics that they have to go through, the interrogations that'll happen if they do start questioning Scientology. So I think that's why I do have empathy and compassion for people in Scientology and for people who have left Scientology, because it's a lot. It is a lot, and it's a lot to work through. And I think that we all leave in different ways, and we all shed that cult mentality in different ways. And sometimes people just have a certain personality that aligns itself more with the cult way of thinking. So even though they leave Scientology and the cult, they might not leave a certain mindset because it's just who they are. So I do, because I know what it's like to be trapped in there, and I know what my struggle was like to find myself afterwards and help my family break free and get beyond this. This is something that has taken easily a decade. And I'm happy to share today that we're out. My 3 kids are grown adults and doing great. My oldest, Shelby, who's been on my channel, I've done a couple of videos with her. She has shared her story and what it was like for her. Because she was the oldest, she was really the one of my 3 children who experienced the most in Scientology. And I had to go get her 2 different times from Scientology. We talk about that in the earlier videos. Trevor Merritt, thank you. Sunlight is the best disinfectant. Thank you for sharing your experience in light. I appreciate that. And like I said, we want to call out, we want to expose. I don't encourage anyone to hate, because even the people, and this might be a stretch, but even the people in Scientology they think that they're saving the planet. They think that people like me are suppressive and we don't want any type of self-betterment, because that's what they're indoctrinated to think. They have these blinders on and they don't have the information. Like Tory MAGOO 44 said early when I shared her clip earlier, they don't know. Most of them don't know. Are there some who do know and that are pure a-holes? Yes, there are. There are, like David Miscavige himself, and probably some other people who are close to him, if anybody even is today. I mean, the guy is just next level. Jen Nelson, thank you so much for the super chat. If I come to Minneapolis, would you go to the org with me? Maybe, just depends on timing and the weather, to be honest. But hit me up, Natalie@tonkatalk.com, and let's keep chatting about it. Maria, thank you so much. Make Osa happy. Hit the like button. That's right. Elron Hubbard's birthday is coming up, and I want to give him 20,000 subscribers to a channel that does nothing every day but expose Scientology, highlight the different Scientology stories around the internet, and try to shed light on why it's a crazy human trafficking cult that people need to be saved from and stopped from going in the first place. That's why I love these protests so much. So much. Pura Vida, that lady in the yellow pants, and I think this is the one that was holding the cult sign too. Being Sammy's mom's friend makes me think she's legit. However, her extreme paranoia makes me wonder. She seemed to show up to strike the ultimate fear. That is true too, right? I get what you're saying. So what I think you're saying is maybe she's showing up to just try and scare people that, like, you're going to be so harassed by Scientology, it's not worth the trouble. No, but there she is, right? I don't know. That's a good point. And I don't know if she's friends with Sammy's mom. I don't know if they just met as a result of all this and now know each other. We don't know. We don't know. But you know what? I think we're going to find out. But it's something to keep an eye on. Pippi Longstocking, I'm in Minneapolis and would love to do a protest here. Who was it earlier who said something? You guys got to connect. I wish there was a more central way to help people connect, but I think in the chat, in the comments, look for people in your area and see about that. See about that. See what you can't do there to connect and go do that. Bernice Dooley, have you experienced a fire alarm while in? Why is there not evacuation of the buildings when alarm goes off? That is really, 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 really a good point. No, I did not. I don't recall ever experience a fire alarm. Earthquake, but not a fire alarm. And we did see the actual screen on the police in the police vehicle that said that Scientology security was not letting the building be evacuated after that's what the fire department recommended. No idea. Hey, Liz. Sammy's mom is always so helpful on the phone with Sammy and stuff. I think she's legit, scared for Sammy and for her friends. No, Sammy's mom is legit. We're talking about the woman who someone said is Sammy's mom's friend, who was sharing about the harassment and stalking that she experienced from Scientology. But yeah, totally. No, Sammy's mom's cool. Yeah. So we're talking about that, but the other lady. But thanks, Liz. Thanks for jumping in there. And I need to go watch your video about your suggestions for the Aftermath Foundation. I'm so glad that you did that. And I hope you're getting excited about heading back to LA. It'll be so great. I cannot wait. Cannot wait. Yes, John Walker, 12,000 to 20,000 is a big ask. It totally is. Absolutely. Absolutely it is. But I'm still going to try to do it because I think it's hilarious. And I just love the idea of playing the birthday game once again, except in this way, because it's something we were forced to do in Scientology. Give as much as you can, right? Get as many people in, get all these statistics up right before L. Ron Hubbard's birthday. They play it all year long. But the crazy push really is towards the end when the year is over, because that's when they're going to give out those awards. You know what? We should have on SPTV our own L. Ron Hubbard birthday game awards. If somebody wants to do that, I think that would be hilarious. Jeff, Pippi Longstocking, Minneapolis. Isn't that the place where Mary Tyler Moore threw her hat up in the air? It is. It totally is. I've been dying to go to the spot where she did it because there's a statue of her doing it and do the same thing, but maybe with like a SPTV shirt on or something like that when the weather's warmer. Although it's been not that cold here. So it's been kind of weird, actually, weather-wise. Oh, you guys got some great, great, great questions. Oh, good to know. TN Treasury Finder says, oh no, Nora discusses the fire drills in one of her lives. That's fantastic. I need to find that too. So whoever had that question about the fire drills, oh no, Nora has it on her channel. Monica, good point. They don't evacuate because they all know it's fake. And that's what I think. That's a good point too, because maybe, right? I often thought, I had the thought, speculation. I have no evidence of this whatsoever. What if somebody was in there starting a fire because they wanted help? Would not be the first Sea Organization member who did something detrimental to their own well-being in the hopes of getting help. Look at what Lisa McPherson did. Lisa McPherson was in Clearwater, got out of her car and started taking off all of her clothes and walking down the street. And she was taken to a hospital, and she later said she did it so she could get help. And what did Scientology do? Showed up at the hospital, got her out of the hands of the psychiatrist, locked her in a room in the Fort Harrison Hotel, and she ended up dying under the care of Scientologists. They will not acknowledge mental health issues, that there's even such thing. They think it's all related just to the reactive mind. Then when you reach the state of clear, where you're no longer supposed to have your own reactive mind, you realize that you've been creating it. You're no longer going to do that. They hit you with the body things and Xenu. And that is what you need to get rid of. And so you work on that and you do operating Thetan levels 1, 2, 3, and you think, oh, am I finally free from the body Thetans? Can I finally be me and live my life? No. You do operating Thetan level 4 and find out, nope, you got to address the body Thetans as it relates to any drugs that you took, legal or otherwise. And then you think, maybe then, I'm rid of the body Thetans. No. Operating Thetan level 5, you learn that there's more. Operating level 6, 7, you learn that there's more. You get up to the highest point on the bridge to total freedom. only to find out more BS. That all those things, it's like everything always goes back. It's always somebody else, right? With Scientology, it's never them. Couldn't be the individual. It's my body things. I wish I would have known about that when I was in the Sea organization. Most Sea Org members, most Scientologists don't know about body thetans and Xenu because you only, unless they watch South Park, because you only learn about those on the higher levels. Pearl Snappy, thank you. 22424 ribbon cutting. Thank you for being a friend. Thank you for being a friend. Oh, I cannot wait. This is so fabulous. If you're headed to Aston, connect with Pearl Snappy. Bottoms up, D.O.A. will be in Vegas protesting the Cult of Scientology flyer handout today. Yes, if you do not know, today in Vegas, Scientology has been asking for 300 to 500 volunteers to show up to hand out their Truth About Drugs booklets. And I am so excited that Scotty, D.O.A. Defender Events, is headed there right now. And I cannot wait to see his live stream and what he catches and what happens and see how it all plays out. I just cannot wait. Cannot wait. MJ, if this is just one life, and you've had millions of years of reincarnation, why do they care so much about a birthday? It's just a reason to get Scientologists to do something, really. You make it a game. Games are fun. Games are fun. I'm more likely to do something if it seems like it's a game and it's fun. Just like even my subscribers, right? For my gift for L. Ron Hubbard for his birthday. It's funny and it's fun. But in Scientology, they take the birthday game very seriously. Very seriously. Very seriously. Church of Scientology. Whatever happened to the Scientology tactic of picketing outside its critics? It's running and hiding low-key out ethics or out policy. So there's a long history of Scientology picketing outside the businesses of either people critical to Scientology or people that they're connected to in a way to intimidate the person who's speaking out to stop. I've not heard of them doing that in a long time, probably because it just backfires like crazy. Can you imagine if they did that today? We'd just be out there, people would be out there just live streaming it and showing what they're doing. They can't do that today. They can try, but with these different platforms and being able to share something in real time and expose and show why they're doing it and educate people on it, it will not go over well. Wouldn't put it past them to try it again, though, because they're operating off of the L. Ron Hubbard playbook for public relations, which is a total fail. Spit, thank you for this. Another amazing morning update. See you all from downtown Clearwater, flag later today. Oh, yay. That's cool. You're going to be there. I got to jump in and find out what's happening in Clearwater. What is happening. So I have to keep an eye on that. There is a lot that's going on. Like I said, we got Defender Event, Scotty headed to Vegas to protest there. So we can see, I'm dying to know, did the 500 people show up that Betsy from Los Angeles, she sent that email to our favorite Scientology spy, Diane from Ventura, and said they need 500 people to show up. I'm real curious because the last time she sent out a call to action like that was for the people who were live streaming and protesting Scientology. There was a call for Scientologists to show up and turn their cameras on these people. And an entire 4 people showed up. Maybe it was 5. Let's say it was 5. It might have been 5. So will 500 people show up in Vegas to support Scientology? I don't know. We have to see. My Tony is totally geeking out about D.O.A. all the time. D.O.A., I'm your newest, biggest, number 1 fan. He really is. Tony has an odd sleep schedule sometimes. And so he'll be up in the middle of the night and then we wake up in the morning and right away he's filling me in on what D.O.A. did. I love it. I absolutely love it. Bakes with butter. Reese met Tony in person. Spit was there along with Clearwater George to the Clearwater stream. Oh, you mean Tommy, probably. Reese met Tommy in person. Spit was there. Okay, cool. That's awesome. Tommy from the lifeboat. That's fantastic. I need to go look and check out their live streams. Did they go to, I saw a little bit of it earlier, but I was running, so I didn't get to catch the whole thing. But I'm dying to see the footage of them protesting outside outside. Please, somebody tell me they protested outside the Fort Harrison. I would love to see that. I'll have to go check their live streams. I love that. And you guys probably already follow her, but Relatable Reese here on YouTube is in Clearwater right now protesting Scientology. I need to get caught up on it all. I'm behind there. Oh, okay. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to pay a lot of attention today to what's happening in Scientology news. If you see something, say something, because I try to share the things that I hear the most about. So if multiple people are hitting me up about one thing, I know, hey, this is something that definitely people are talking about. We pay attention to the chats as well, see what people are talking about. You can email me at natalie@tonkatalk.com. We are going to have a whole nother recap tomorrow of everything that has been happening. And I hope that you are all here for it. I'm just going to double check to make sure there's nothing that I missed. I don't think that there is. There we go. So there's some game today, right? Today, the football. I'm horrible, but I'm in it for the commercials and the halftime and the snacks. Definitely. Oh, Tony, my Tony, if you're on here, we did not get snacks. We need to get Natalie friendly snacks. Oh, forgot. I need to put in an Instacart order. I bet we could get it in time. Okay, I will do that. I will see you guys tomorrow, 7:30 a.m. Central Time. In the meantime, get out there and have the most amazing cult-free day.